Howdy, y'all. We are back here with another stream, and today's topic, building habits, staying consistent. I'm Dalton Howell, co-host to Unrealized Purpose, and Isaac over there. How we doing?
Doing good, man. Glad
Doing
to
good.
glad to be here.
It's been a pretty good week for me so far. But building habits and staying consistent. Um, what are some habits that you have, Isaac, that are kind of like ones you've already established, um, ones that you've just your daily routine.
Well, as far as habits for me, I've been focusing on building them for a while now, and I made a post, and that's kind of what we're going to go off of on this episode. Um, and just things that I've learned, not really anything taught to me, just things that I've learned. But going through the beginning of this year, I started going to the gym like 4 times a week, consistently working out at home. So that was a habit that I built, and it's life changing, to be honest. Um, I've been working out before that, but not consistently, and it wasn't a habit. So this the the theme of the podcast is going to be on building habits, and that's a habit that is definitely life changing. Um, I'd say that's probably the biggest one that I'm working on right now. It's just building this and staying as consistent as possible. It's what, April? I started back in December, and it's been going very well so far. But what about you?
Pretty good, yeah. Because you sent me a picture of your progress, and that was pretty cool. That was exciting. Made me hop on the floor and start doing some push-ups. Like, man, this guy's gonna get stronger than me, and you can't have that happening. No. um,
You need some competition there, man.
need some competition. Competition's great motivation. Um, no, so I think it was this last year I decided to uh I only told one person, but I decided to kind of just completely stop drinking Coke specifically, uh, and just kind of cutting that out. Um, and because that's like my big downfall is I know it sounds weird, but there's just something about Coca-Cola that like really, really is addictive to me when I drink it. And so, and like normally when I buy one, it's like I can't just drink one. I gotta drink like 10 of them. So I gotta like really cut that. I had to really cut it out. So I haven't drinking a Coke in a while. So I guess that's quitting a bad habit, not creating a good one. But but so that's something that I've been consistently doing for I don't know about 4 months now. So since the beginning of the year. So been sticking with that pretty good, and then I have my workout routine that I normally do. Um, about 100 push-ups a day. Try to do 100 sit-ups. I don't really like sit-ups, so I kind of cop out on that one a little bit. But I will do like I forget what they call them, but it's you hang on the arm bar and you pull your legs up. I will do those. I don't know what it's, some type of ab crunch. But
Yeah.
so I do about 3 sets, 4 sets of those each day. And I just started doing those. So I think here shortly I'm gonna toss on the weighted vest. So
Mm, yeah.
make it more difficult. But anyways, yeah, so
What
that's
uh
that's what I've got going.
what type of Coca-Cola were you ordering? You're old. Do you have like a secret stash of the really old stuff? The stuff that
Yeah,
has a little bit of cocaine in it?
I think what happened was Elon Musk actually did secretly buy Coca-Cola and put the cocaine back into Coca. I don't know if you saw that
Oh,
post. Did you see that
I
post?
didn't see that
That
now.
oh, he is like, I'm gonna make Coke great again or something. And he's like, I'm gonna put cocaine back in the Coke. And
Going
so
back to the old
um,
recipe.
yeah, that was after he bought I think that was his most liked post, the cocaine back in Coca-Cola. I think that's his most liked post that he posted up. I could be wrong on that, but I think it was. Um,
Okay.
and
He
so it
posts a
was
lot
kind
of
of,
great stuff, by the way.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he's hilarious. I love him to death. Um, and it's great when you toss on his humor too. So got a very sarcastic humor. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
man, I don't, dude, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't some type of form of still cocaine in Coke because it is, man, it's addictive. Let me tell you. So,
Is is there a reason that you're stopping besides the fact you have a low key addiction to it? Is
uh,
it any health reasons or
yeah, so
just
like
kind of
not
curious
like
here?
super health reasons. One, Coca-Cola is like the worst for your mouth. Like it just destroys your mouth. Like there, like you even have like other Coke, like other soda pop products, like they're bad for your mouth too, but Coke is like the worst. It's the worst in carbonation. Um, but then again, it tastes the best too, so I don't know. Um, but anyways, I just
Yeah.
offended some Pepsi fans out there, so that's all right.
Pepsi's good. I like Pepsi. Um,
Oh, that's right. You were telling me you drink Pepsi, don't you?
I drink Diet Dr. Pepper, and I mean I'll probably change that habit very soon, but at the moment
Oh,
that's what I'm
yeah,
drinking.
Diet
Um,
Dr.
I'll
Pepper.
probably I'll probably try to switch to just water and like tea, but yeah, anything with like no calories in it. That's what I've been doing. I mean, I've dropped 22 pounds since the beginning of the year, so and I've been drinking Diet Dr. Pepper like a few times a week doing that. So, but I mean, I feel like that's not really part of the topic here. So,
No, we hadn't even hopped into the topic yet, but um, all right. So, your post, what was number one on your post? It was start, right? Or
no, it
remember your
was
why.
yeah, yeah, have a why.
Remember your
Ask
why.
yourself ask yourself why it's important to you to show up every day and be consistent. On the days that you don't feel like it, remember your why. That was one of the biggest things for me when I started going to the gym because it's like if you don't have a reason to go to the gym, rather other than just to, I don't know, get fit or whatever, if you don't have a deeper reason, then I feel like you're doomed to fail at building a habit. You don't have something that's gonna make you show up on the days you don't feel like it.
Yeah. And that why for you was I think one, it was partially a want, and the other it was partially or a health, right? Just to
Right.
keep in good health, keep
Yeah,
in good health.
I I hated looking in the mirror, man. And I wasn't like a big guy, but I was on my way and just looked at myself in the mirror one day. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done being on the edge. It's time to go all in. And so I kind of just visualized who I wanted to be, where I wanted to be at, set a number, hired a coach, got that accountability and then went after it. And on the days I didn't feel like going, um, I'd think about why I'm doing this and it definitely would help me. So that's why it's number one.
Nice. That's good. You looked and decided this is not what I want to be. So to a degree, I would even say like you're looking and you're saying, this is not what I want my legacy to be, um, to a sense. But that's awesome. So make sure you have your why.
Yeah.
Um, my why is well, one, staying healthy, and then two, to just, you it's like a confident booster. It's like a confident booster when you like walk in the mirror and you look in the mirror and you like what you see. It boosts your confidence.
Yeah.
And so that's That's always good. And that like when you get that, then it's like waking up in the morning and doing anything else is makes everything else easier too, as you like nail down good habits. So
Yeah, and that whole journey, the whole journey of building yourself, and like you said, boosting that confidence in the mirror. Like, if you can do this, what else can you do? You know, if you can go to the
yeah,
gym every day, or not every day, but several times a week, and never see any progress for a month or two, or maybe a month, I mean, and you can put yourself through pain consistently, and then like looking in the mirror, then it's like, oh my gosh, what else? What else can we do here? You know?
yeah, that's awesome. And just slow steps too to establishing that habit. Okay, so we got the why.
Mm,
Number two.
be kind to yourself. Um, if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Simply show up the next day and get it done. This is one of Jordan Peterson's speeches. I kind of pulled this from, and it really helped me on the days that I missed. Um, you know, you don't want to be that tyrannical dictator to yourself. You want to be kind to yourself, because if you beat yourself up every time you fail, you're never going to show up again. Um, so on the days that I miss, I'd be like, all right, let's show up again tomorrow. And I missed a few days in the beginning, but now I can confidently say I don't miss any days. And it's because I was okay with showing up the next day. You know, I didn't beat myself up. Yeah, it didn't feel good, but I wasn't gonna throw myself under the bus because I didn't show up.
That's awesome. I think one of the key things is when you're starting a new habit, especially like that one. Because like I've had I joke with about the one thing, the um I forget what it is, doesn't matter. But I did have a gut at one point. And like I was like looking, I was like, I can't see my I can't see my abs anymore. Like, and I was like, I was frustrated. I was like, well, I'll get rid of this. And like getting rid of it was like I had to do some extra stuff and I didn't even like doing that extra stuff. So like just starting out um and starting from scratch, or I guess the worse and worse you let it get, like the harder it's going to be. So you better off to start sooner than later, and keep that habit. But I think like the key thing here is like you started one habit and you focused on you let your focus drive on that one habit. And you didn't try to pick, 100 habits to all go after all at once. Because that probably would have drug you down real quick. I think us as even men and women, when we lose or when we fail or make a mistake, it it hurts our confidence. And so if we're trying to do 10 habits all at once, it'll, our confidence will drop, if we're trying to do 10 things all at the same time. So, you want to gradually build up uh from from that one habit that you got and get to a point where you're making headway progress, and then maybe you can start another one. You don't want to overdo it. And then you said you were making mistakes, and we all do. It's like me with my with with drinking Coke. It's like, yeah, I make mistakes just out of habit of drinking Coke. I'll pick up a Coke, and I did it the other day. I opened one and I realized, and then I just poured it down the sink. It's like, nope, I'm not going to drink that. It's like, just leave it there. Um, so we make mistakes, but we shouldn't let our mistakes be our failure. Um, the the thing is, the failure is completely giving up. Making a mistake it's not giving. It doesn't mean you gave up. It just means you screwed up. So
Yeah.
don't let your mistake make you think you're a failure and then decide never to try again. No, never trying again is your failure. So
I like that. Yeah, that's a good way to sum that up. Just because you messed up doesn't mean you have to give up.
yeah, that was a lot better. See, you could have said that in 6 words. I just spent like 5 minutes trying to say that. So
Well, no,
okay.
you explained it very well. I
How'd you say
just
that again? You literally just because you messed up didn't mean you
just
now it's
because you messed
gone.
up doesn't mean you have to give up.
Just because you messed up doesn't mean you have to give up. Yeah, it's gonna be my next post. So all right. All
Yeah.
right.
Number three here. Set goals. It's much easier to be consistent when you have something to work towards. I think that's something, I think it could go hand in hand with your why. Um, but having a goal to work towards, it doesn't, I guess it doesn't even have to be the same as your why. Um, because you can have a lot of little goals that lead up to the bigger reason for you. So losing 10 pounds could be a goal. Losing another 10 pounds is another goal, leading up to being healthier as your why. And I keep going back to fitness, but that's what I'm focusing on right now. So it's what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean it's a good one it's a habit that everybody has to build. Everybody should build, and they have to think. If you don't, it gets out of hand really quick. It's something you got to keep in check all the time. So it's it's one of those ones that you can easily use and say, hey, here's a habit, here's a good program to follow for everything else. So but so we had, man, I'm struggling with my train of thought today. So we had the why, then we had the
be kind to
be
yourself.
kind to yourself. And then this third one, and this is, you said it just a second ago, man. I don't know why my brain's skipping.
Set goals.
Set goals. Dear Lord, my brain is like off. Um, I think setting goals, it's literally right in front of me too. I'm retarded. Um, um, set goals. Um, think your goal should be specific and clear on what you're trying to obtain. Um, and I think that's what we were just talking about was making our, you know, our goal clear. Um, and when you kick your habit and you pick that specific habit, you've got to set a schedule of when you're going to do it. You got to have it scheduled throughout your day. If you're having struggles with something in the morning, so maybe your goal is to get up in the morning, brush your teeth, or get up in the morning and um, do 5 laps or something like that. I don't know. Um, and you're having a tough time with it, you can either try two things, like because I've had a problem with getting up in the morning and running. I used to do that, and that was the toughest thing for me. To run 2 miles in the morning. It was just exhausting. Now I don't run at all, but that's because I stopped running. So, um, but the key thing for me was I either had to go to bed earlier or I had to do it later in the day. And so I think morning habits, I think sometimes are some of the toughest, and we get caught up in failure on those all the time because we're either lacking sleep and we can't figure it out. It's like you got to go to bed earlier, or if you're not going to go to bed earlier, change it to a different part of the day. Um, so that was one thing I definitely want to point out is on our goals. Um, and if you're making the same repetitive mistakes, try a different way. I think is something to remember too. That way we don't get ourselves drugged down in all the mistakes and then become a failure at it and don't try again.
Yeah,
So
I think I did put that on my post, like create a routine as number 5, and it goes hand in hand with what you just said. If you're trying to build a habit, and this is something that I found out very quickly, is because I was trying to go to the gym at 5 in the morning consistently, then that wasn't going to happen. It worked out for a week, and I hated it. I hated life. So what I did was I just switched it to in the evening around 5 when I felt the best. So that's when I went. Um, and that's helped me show up because if I went to bed late because of something on one day, well, I missed my 5 o'clock window there, and then I just didn't go to the gym. So I had to move
right.
it back to later in the day because that's what's going to work best for me. So if you can find a place in your calendar that fits that habit the best, put that habit there and block out that time and just show up every day doing that. That's what helped me. Um, rather than fighting myself. You got to make these habits easy for you to build, whether that's
Yeah.
working on your business or whatever. If in your case running, what were you running from first off? And like definitely run in the evening if you struggle the most with it.
Yeah, I wasn't running from anything. Just messing. No, I used to just wake
I
up in
love
the
that
morning.
joke.
um, you got it. No, I'm up on the joke. Yeah, you've had two good jokes today. Yeah, you had a good joke to start this video. Well, before we started the recording, we were trying to figure out how to make fake microphones. But anyways, for everybody that's watching, he's got a microphone he's working with to Isaac here is working with, and he was like, "What if I just put a water bottle there and put the the foam,
Put the
the
little foam
little
thing on
foam
there.
cover on there, and just mid video, just crack the foam thing off, take a sip of water, put it back on." I don't know why I found that so funny. Anyways, but yeah, running in the morning, I just decided to run in the morning because it after running, I felt awake and ready to move. And that was a key thing in the morning when I was going through school was I'd wake up and I was homeschooled. So you get out of bed, you walk out the door, and 10 feet, you're at your desk. And there's no like, oh, I'm awake now. No, I just moved my sleeping spot from the bed to a chair. So I had to get up and do something to wake my brain up. And so getting up in the morning, running a mile down the road, running partially back, jogging the rest of the way back. I'd get home and then I'd feel good. And so that's why I was doing that. I did not like running, still don't like running, but I will occasionally just do it consistently for a few weeks, just so that I keep a level of stamina up. But anyways, so set goals. We had have a why, be kind to yourself, set goals, and then you have here's number 4, prioritize. Um, focus on high priority tasks first. So what do you mean by that? Focus on high priority tasks first.
Yeah, so whenever when I put this in there, it was because there are a lot of little tasks that aren't as important, that can get in the way of you actually going and doing what you needed to do. So in my case, it's a lot of little tasks that, well, they could be done in a few days. They're not really that important, but they're easier to do. So I'd find myself caught up doing those small tasks, and then it's time to do the big task, and it's like, well, it's late and I don't have time. So this really high
Uh,
important priority task didn't get done. And sometimes those higher high priority tasks um, were a habit that I needed to build, like, working on my business for an hour, working on this certain project, and just getting distracted with the small things was very harmful for me when I was trying to build a habit of building my business, working out, stuff like that.
Yeah, I
So
feel you there. Okay. That definitely makes sense. Yeah, I catch myself doing that all the time. Um, 'Cause it'd be like an hour process, and you're like, well, I could load the dishwasher first, you know,
exactly, and then you never get that done. So
you never
it,
get it
I
done.
think, yeah, prioritizing goes hand in hand with just time management. If you
Yeah.
want to build a habit, make sure you're um, you're good with your time management. Um, and for I think we just talked about this: create a routine. You know, build a habit into a routine that works for you. And then the last one I have on here is get accountability. The best way to show up every day and be consistent is to have someone that will keep you accountable. Um, that was the biggest thing for me. One of the biggest things was finding someone that could just shoot me a text and say, "Hey, did you go to the gym today?" And if I didn't, I'd have to say I didn't, and then feel bad, and then they'd be like, "All right, show up tomorrow." Like, okay, messed up. I'll be there tomorrow. Having that accountability helps so much. And that could, I mean, in the case of me, it was finding an online fitness coach, which turned out to just be someone that um, had hired me to help them with their social media. Um, and then I guess with anything else, any other habits that you're trying to build, find someone that can help you, whether that's a friend or a family member.
Yeah, that's great. And that's what, I mean, accountability. I mean, that's just a huge thing in every aspect of life. Um, you got to have somebody there to make sure you're doing what you say you're doing. Um, and Goes back to that quote. I'm trying to think of it right now. It's have a large amount of proof of who you are that you say you are.
Mm, yeah,
Um, a lot of that comes with being accountable because other people see it. They know, yeah, that's him. Yep, he's in here every morning coming to the gym. He's got his yogurt and his cat earphones on and lifts the weights. So
cat earphones.
yeah, it's just how I imagine you going to the gym. You got your white cat earphones on, got a yogurt in your hand.
Damn it, man, you caught me. It's my headphone of choice right there.
It'd probably be Batman, probably like a Batman helmet that you go to the gym with. No, just lifting weights. It's like, oh, I'm Batman. Just go up like that.
Yeah, dude, you're
That's how you breathe
I'm
out.
pretty sure you've worked out with me, I guess. Oh my gosh.
Oh, no, I think one of the thing, a key thing going through this is motivation too. And I mentioned this earlier that you sent me a picture of like your start and then where you are now just a couple months later. And it's just, man, like if that doesn't motivate you, like, oh my goodness. But I know it was a motivation for you, huge, because I mean, you're literally seeing the difference. And I think for most of us, if we can visually see our progress, it's a lot of times enough to keep going. So you want to keep track of your progress, whether it's through photos or writing it down or whatever it is, whatever thing you need to do to keep track of it, to let you know, you're making accomplishments, you're making progress. So I definitely do that because that'll keep your motivation moving, and you need motivation when you're trying to build habits. So,
Yeah.
uh,
On as far as motivation goes, and this is my last little bit here, but motivation is definitely temporary. So, what I did when I was starting to build my business 3 years back was I listened to a lot of motivational speeches, lots of motivational lectures, and just like I brainwashed myself into believing anything was possible. Um, so if you need some motivation, definitely like go on Apple Music, go on Spotify, look up motivational speeches. They are there, and they're pretty good. So that definitely helped me rewire my brain into believing that I could show up in the early hours and get to work, get things done. Then that motivation helped me, and I listened to it every day until I didn't really need to anymore, until it was ingrained in my my mindset, my psychology.
yeah, I love that. I've been on everybody. I feel like everybody does this. Everybody does this. You just sit there and scroll through reels and over again. Like a lot of it's junk, but like you can type into the search bar like motivation, what you want to see, what makes you want to move. And so one day I just clicked motivation, and like, man, I'm so glad I clicked that. I'm so glad I clicked on over there. It's like I've used so much of that stuff. One, a lot of it's true. And two, it's like, yeah, it'll make you remember like, hey, I gotta keep moving, and here's a way to do it. So yeah, love that.
Well,
Motivation.
I want to add this little plug here too. Like social media is as unhealthy as you make it. It's all an algorithm. You can train it to do and show you exactly what you want to see. Um, if you
Yeah.
don't want to see something, hold down on that photo, click. Don't suggest more or hide or something like that. Like train your algorithm, and it'll help you in the long run. I mean, in my feed, I see a lot of motivational quotes. I see a lot of people going to the gym. I see a lot of people that inspire me to be better. And so in my case, I see motivation. I see, um, inspiration. I'm mentally doing a little bit better. It's not, it's not full of unhealthy, toxic stuff. Like maybe scrolling through like a news app or something like that. Could compare it to that probably.
Yeah. Because that'll get you down real quick. Um,
Yeah.
just watching the news.
So
Yeah, that's
social media
awesome.
can be healthy.
Can be if used properly, just like any tool.
Exactly. Well, anything else you want to add, or we're gonna call that a wrap?
I think that's pretty much it. Um, sum it all up. Your 6 points. Have a why. Be kind to yourself. Set goals. Prioritize. Create a routine, and get accountability. I think that pretty much sets a solid. If you write those 6 things down, follow them, I think you'll be on your way to building a pretty good, pretty strong habits. So
Yep. Those are the 6 things that helped me. They're personal experience. They're not Googled, so hope they'll help you guys out too. But anyway, see y'all next week. We've got a new guest on next week, I believe, right? So
yeah, I think so.
talking
Uh,
about mindset and maximizing the your mindset in your life. So be a really good episode. Looking forward to it. But anyways, hope y'all have a good week. See you.
yeah, we'll see y'all later.